A secret doesn't just exist in your mind, it has a cognitive weight. Neurologically, concealing significant information requires active effort from your prefrontal cortex, the same region responsible for problem-solving and focus. This is not a metaphor. Your brain expends measurable energy to suppress the thought, to navigate conversations around it, and to manage the social anxiety it produces. Holding a secret is like constantly running a complex piece of software in the background of your consciousness. It consumes processing power, leaving you mentally fatigued and less capable of handling other tasks. The urge to confess, then, is not merely emotional. It's a biological drive to free up cognitive resources. Before you speak, your brain performs a lightning-fast subconscious risk assessment. It calculates the potential social cost. When the listener is a friend, the equation is incredibly complex. You have to factor in shared history, mutual acquaintances, future interactions, and their position within your social hierarchy. The potential fallout isn't just one person's judgment, it's a cascade failure that could ripple through your entire social ecosystem. A stranger, however, represents a mathematical zero in this equation. They have no shared network, no future expectations, no prior investment. The cost of their judgment is functionally null. Your brain recognizes this as the safest possible port in a storm of social variables. This isn't a modern quirk. It's a fundamental aspect of social dynamics, identified by sociologist George Simmel over a century ago. He described the stranger not as a person, but as a social role. The stranger is simultaneously near and far, physically present but socially distant. This unique position grants them a kind of objectivity that those inside your social circle can never have. The classic stranger on a train phenomenon isn't about the train at all. It's about creating a temporary, isolated social space where the normal rules of reputation and consequence are suspended. The movement of the train is just a physical representation of the transient nature of the encounter itself. The relationship with a stranger to whom you confess has no past and, crucially, no future. It exists only for the duration of the disclosure. This temporal isolation is a powerful psychological anesthetic. The secret is shared into a vacuum, a self-contained moment that won't bleed into your tomorrow. Your friend, on the other hand, is a vessel of continuity. A secret told to them becomes a permanent part of your shared timeline. It will be present in every future interaction, a silent passenger in your relationship, whether it's spoken of again or not. The stranger allows the secret to be heard and then to vanish. Your closest friends are not just an audience, they are co-authors of your identity. Your sense of self is built, in part, from the reflection you see in their eyes. You trust them to hold a stable, consistent image of who you are. A shocking confession threatens to shatter that mirror. The fear isn't just about being judged, it's about forcing your friend to see a version of you that contradicts the person they thought they knew. This dissonance can fundamentally alter the relationship. Because if their perception of you changes, your perception of yourself, as reflected by them, must also change. It's an identity crisis by proxy. Friend groups operate on a principle of social cohesion, an unspoken agreement on shared values and norms. A secret that violates these norms doesn't just challenge your place in the group, it challenges the group itself. It introduces a volatile piece of data that the system must process. The group has two choices: reject the aberrant element to maintain its stability, or fundamentally redefine its own boundaries to accommodate your secret. Telling a friend forces them into the role of a gatekeeper for the entire group's identity. Their reaction is weighted not just by their personal feelings, but by their perceived responsibility to the social fabric. A stranger has no such fabric to protect. Even if you trust a friend completely, you are not just trusting them. You are trusting their discretion, their emotional control, and by extension, you are trusting every single person they might confide in. A secret given to one node in a network has the potential to propagate. This is the network propagation problem of gossip. A stranger is a terminal node. They are a dead end. The information stops with them because there are no connecting pathways leading back into your life. The story goes nowhere because the storyteller has nowhere to go. This structural guarantee is something no friend, no matter how trustworthy, can ever truly offer. The internet did not create this phenomenon. It merely scaled it. Online confession forums are the stranger on a train multiplied by 1,000,000. Here, the online disinhibition effect, a term coined by psychologist John Suler, comes into play. Anonymity is the most obvious factor, but it's more than that. There's asynchronicity. You can post your secret and walk away, not having to face an immediate reaction. There's solipsistic introjection, where you feel like you're just talking to yourself, making the confession feel less like a social act and more like a private journal entry. And there's the minimization of authority, where everyone is an equal anonymous peer, removing the fear of judgment from a higher status individual. Platforms like Reddit's confession forums are designed as consequence-free arenas. They are social structures built to absorb and diffuse potent emotional information without it attaching to a real-world identity. When you post a secret, you aren't speaking to individuals. You are broadcasting into a vast, undifferentiated sea of transient attention. The responses you receive, whether supportive or critical, come from faceless accounts that have no bearing on your life. They cannot affect your job, your family, or your friendships. This environment strips the act of confession of all its traditional social risks, leaving only the catharsis of the release. What then is the function of telling 1,000,000 strangers who don't care about you? It's not about receiving advice. It's about externalization. A secret kept inside is an abstraction, a heavy fog in the mind. Speaking it or typing it gives it form. The anonymous upvotes and comments serve as a simple, powerful confirmation. Your experience is real. It has been witnessed. The strangers act as an indifferent but validating echo. They hear the sound you make, bounce it back to confirm it existed, and then the moment is over. The secret is no longer just yours, but it belongs to no one. Ultimately, the stranger offers a unique and powerful psychological tool: disposable intimacy. It's the experience of profound, vulnerable connection, but without any of the obligations, history, or risks that define our real relationships. You are borrowing a human connection for a singular purpose and then discarding it. This may sound cold, but it serves a vital human need: to be seen without being known. We need our friends to build our lives with, to provide the stable, continuous support that gives life meaning. But sometimes, for the heaviest of stones, we don't need a friend to help us carry it. We just need a place to put it down. Monotony has grown fast. Nearly 2,700 people have watched in the last few weeks, yet less than 0.03% are subscribed. It would mean a lot if you joined by hitting subscribe. And again, thanks for watching.